everybody. It's your girl, Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually Podcast. Y'all, I am so happy to be back with my Bravo bestie, Joey. Hey, Joey.
Hello.
And before today, we are going to be doing the recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 16, which was the finale episode. We're going to be talking to you about some Bravo tea, and of course, we're going to touch on that Mary Cosby documentary. But before we get into that, I wanted to address why we took a hiatus. I did make a post in the community tab, but I know some folks don't check that. Those of you that did and reached out, thank you. But I did want to let y'all know I had a terrible loss over the holidays, prior to the holidays. December 6th, my little brother passed away, and of course, I had to take some time away to process and, take care of that. But I wanted to say, guys, number one, he's largely responsible for why I even started this channel. He himself was a content creator, and you will see on my ticker, I'm going to plug his channels because it's GoatCast Hoops and GoatCast Podcasts. GoatCast Hoops were where he would do narrated videos on some of the great different eras of the NBA, the great players, all kinds of things. He was a historian of the game. And then he had GoatCast Podcasts where him and my son Nigel co-hosted together, and they would do debates on who they thought, GOAT stands for the greatest of all time. My brother always was down for Michael Jordan, and my son, yes, being that he's 25, his GOAT is LeBron James.
LeBron James, yeah.
Right, of course,
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So it was different eras, but it was always interesting to watch them. They both were, they're both intellects, and their commentary was really, really good to watch. He was up and coming. I loved how his fellow YouTubers in that genre paid homage to him because he was such an humble guy. I don't think he even realized how good he was. So if basketball is not your thing, please y'all share with a friend. I would love to see, him continue his channel to continue to grow. And my son will be taking it over when he's able to do so. So guys, just let me say this. Love on your folks. My brother was only 45, so you never know. So I'm going to say that. Yeah. So I'm not going to get all mushy, though, because I'm back to doing what I love. And so, Joey, I am super duper excited to talk to you about some of the things that are going on in the Bravo universe. And then, of course, we're going to get to this recap. But let's start with the elephant in the room, shall we? The documentary on Mary Cosby. What say you?
I don't know. I feel like I have a very different opinion than a lot of people, which is nothing new here. But I think the timing of it was suspect. I think everything about it was really suspect to me because Mary's on such a high. We just got off of BravoCon where she was clearly the fan favorite. And then, you come out with this damning documentary. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, she's so innocent and she's perfect, blah, blah. That's obviously crap. But my takeaway from the documentary was that she's really not the villain, which I know I'm going to get heat for, which is fine. I'm used to it. I'm a Teresa Giudice fan. But what I saw a bunch of salty family members that are mad that they got screwed out of the power and the money. I saw that they all were on the same page, though, that things in the church changed when Robert Sr. came on the scene. That he was the evil one. He was the evil mastermind. He was the real problem. And then I saw him, how I feel, take advantage of the outcast of the family, right? She was kind of ousted from the church. She was having all these issues. She was young and impressionable. And I don't know, I don't want to use the word grooming, but manipulated a little bit, whatever, you know what I mean? To conform her to what he was looking for. Maybe some of the other family members wouldn't have been as easy to mold or whatnot. So, although I won't say she's innocent, I really don't think that she is the villain of the story. To me, it came off more like Robert Sr. is the true villain of like the story and manipulated someone younger and impressionable. That was my takeaway, my opinion. I know the majority's not with me, but that's fine. How about you?
I mean, there were some elements of what you said I agree with. Number one, what I thought was shocking is because initially I thought, okay, maybe he came into the family later in life and step granddad, but to find out that he had been with their grandmother since Mary was like a little girl. So legitimately, you were in a grandfather role for all of her young life until this, and then it just gave creeped out vibes for him. I give you that. I agree that they said things changed when he came to church, and but there were some things that gave me pause. One of which is, Mary did say that it was her grandmother's wishes that she marry Robert Sr., or she said that one of her girls to marry Robert Sr. But the fact that she was married at the time, the way that it happened, or the way that they said it happened, and then they did show the documentation of the fact that she was married and filed for divorce, and literally days later married Robert Sr. I mean, iffy. And you're right. I felt that she was the young, impressionable one. She was the one that kind of, I won't say lost her way, but was searching. She had been disfellowshipped. They said that they would catch her out. She would, kind of like run off some. So maybe she was a little troubled by some things. And so then, yes, she would be the easier one to prey on. I don't think groom is a bad word. I think it might be accurate. And even some of the let's talk about the clips, when they said that, she kind of considered herself God, and the snippets, that did, bother me.
Yeah. I mean, they were dark.
They were dark. The affair was shocking. I remember when that guy was brought on by Lisa Barlow, and he did seem troubled.
Yeah.
There was audio. So, I mean, there was that, I remember when she made the comment about the accident, and I had no clue that was actually a young girl that she really knew. And that.
Yeah, that was shocking. And the way that she portrayed it on the show, and she really did say it in jest.
She did.
Was really gross.
It was gross. And let's be clear, Mary has some personality quirks that, people say, oh, it's part of her charm. In some regards for the show, it is, but let's not say that it's not strange in the fact that it seems sometimes she dissociates with how she comes across, how how insensitive or mean, that some of her things come in when you are supposed to be a person of the cloth, someone called to ministry. I feel like she got put in a role. I do think the lifestyle, of course, was something that she was attracted to. It's always been my belief, before you get in a pulpit, you should be called to do that by God. I felt like with Robert Sr., she was placed there.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
good point.
Yeah, so I have some struggles with that. Now, y'all, don't get me wrong. I love her on the show. That hasn't changed. And still somehow, when we get into the recap, when she speaks to me, it still holds more weight than some of the other women, because I haven't seen her to be the one that wants to be the pot star or the drama. That doesn't seem to be her thing. And that also goes with her quirks. So I don't know, y'all, did it bother me? Yeah. I wish for her that hadn't come out. But anytime you're winning, anytime you're on top, and if you do some dirt, or if you have done things to hurt people, that's the time they're coming out singing. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You guys, let us know what you thought. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments. So please give us your thoughts on the documentary. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Yeah.
I hate that because it's like it doesn't paint her in the best light. But I think, yeah, they didn't form your own opinion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So another thing that is all the buzz in the Bravo universe is Bronwyn announcing that she has separated from Todd.
I mean, sad for her, but at the same time, like, it's probably the best move because that man did not know how to treat her. I don't care what she says in her confessionals.
He didn't. And it just, after 2 seasons, it got no better with him even trying to not even be on the camera as much. Anytime he was on, I mean, it's like you can't hide that. He just didn't seem to have that level of love and empathy and compassion and any of that thing.
Self-awareness that you're on camera and the people already hate you.
That part. And I mean, Bronwyn, she did everything she could to even try. You could tell in the scene she was working extra hard to try to get him to like not come across as such just a jackass, but
yeah.
In every scene, I mean, it was like on cue, and here we go. Yep. You're going to say something horrible again, or your facial expressions, or you're going to be dismissive. I mean, even if you tried, you couldn't like the man.
Right.
So, I don't ever like to say, divorce is not pleasant for anyone, but Bronwyn loves being a housewife. And remember, we talked about earlier in this season that we both feared that it was going to come to a point where he was going to be like, hey, me or the show. And we both hoped that she made the choice she made.
But we are leaving out a very important part that there is, which I cannot believe for the life of me, no prenup.
That is crazy.
So our girl is going to get paid.
As she should.
As she should.
As she should. Mr. Palm Pilot can go on and make some more money. I mean, give her cut. You know what I mean? Listen, to put up with him, and then, listen, she earned it, in my opinion. So there's that. And then good news for Gina from Real Housewives of Orange County. Her and Travis got engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I'm not even like a huge Gina fan, but I just I love Travis, and I'm just so happy for them.
I am too. He's a good guy. I said, like, when we were covering OC, when she moved out and got her house, I felt like, man, she got on her feet, and now she's gonna kick him to the curb. But then we find out there was more to the story with his ex. And when you have your children, I got it. But I'm so glad they worked all that out because, like you, Joey, I used to be a big Gina fan, but then she started turning me off. If maybe we could get rid of Emily, maybe I could find what I used to like about her again. But
I would love to see her on the show without Emily.
Me too.
I think that Emily is really just a dark cloud over like that whole cast.
Me too. It's so time for her to go. They made it sound like she's coming back. I hope not. Hope not. Gina always has her back. They did some little TikTok or something that tried to dispel the rumor, but we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see. All right, Joey. Season 6. We have come to the finale. Before we get into the recap, I want to know, overall, what did you think about season 6?
I thought season 6 was great. I think that they are just great TV. I think that what my fear is, I feel like we see it time and time again, right? Like, you have this like incredible ensemble cast. They're just killing it. And then Bravo pulls the good old, if it's not broke, we're going to try to fix it. And then like they screw it all up. You know what I mean? So my fear is that they don't. I know we're going to like get into it. My only real like is like, once again, and I don't know what it is about Salt Lake City and like the production team, their finales seem very overly produced every season. They seem scripted. I saw someone post online today. They were like, it almost seems like a low budget soap opera. It really does.
It does.
I don't know why they do that. But overall, I mean, stellar season. I really hope that they like well, I shouldn't say don't change anything. If they don't get Heather Gay off my screen soon, I swear I'm not gonna be able to watch it anymore.
It's
She is
getting rough.
she is insufferable. She's coming for Margaret Joseph's title as my least favorite housewife of all time. I can't. I cannot, and we will get into that.
We will. We definitely will. No, for sure, for sure. I agree. I like season 5 better than season 6.
Yeah.
However, what I enjoyed about season 6 and what I enjoy about Salt Lake City is you don't need a whole lot of other things going on. If you just concentrate on the ladies, they're the show.
Yep.
Some of the best episodes with just them at the table going at it. I mean, you know what I mean? It just listening to them go back and forth and the crazy things they say, y'all, they just naturally are reality TV gold.
No, I agree. And this season we had a lot less husband interaction than we normally have.
Very true.
And it was still good.
And it was still good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the ladies. It is the ladies. Concentrate on those ladies and you got a good show. Yep. And I agree with you. The finale seemed a bit overproduced. I feel like they're still chasing that reality Von Teese exposure moment. And look, sometimes because Heather wants it so bad, and we'll definitely get to that. It just look, it worked for that. Let's, you know what I mean, go somewhere. And if Heather can't come with more than that, they really need to get rid of her. That is a waste of space.
She got to go. She's not sharing anything besides like literally crap talking to the point of almost like crap talking like your children. Like we get it. You're happy that they've like grown up and like moved on and you have time for yourself, but the constant repeating of even like in like the last blurb was like loved having everyone home for the holidays, loved even more when like they left. Like, ma'am, what? You're still a mother. You're a mother for the rest of your life.
Right. And one of her babies just I mean, that's off-putting to me as a mom. Now, it was cute when you said it once, but you keep on acting like, girl, that's not painting you in the light you think it is. It's not.
No.
So, all right. So, guys, getting into this recap, they start out doing this ominous flash forward. That's that whole soap opera-ish thing. They give us a little foreshadowing of what's to come with the Greek tragedy play and the, you know, I was just like, what is that? But at first I thought it was them. I was like, what are they doing? It was like, huh. But okay, you know, so I was like, all right, well, you got my attention. Okay. And then, of course, they go back 12 hours earlier. The ladies are getting ready down in the kitchen. Our accident-prone diva comes down with the busted lip, y'all.
For rapper and bubble wrap. I don't know what's going on with our girl Angie, but she got to get it together.
I mean, Joey.
2 left feet and 1 eye, I think. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, what are the odds? I mean, good gracious. But it was so funny. I think Bronwyn is in confessional, and she was saying at this point, you know, that Angie's so Greek. She's basically become a tragedy. I'm like, and did? I was like, girl, we need your pretty face to say pretty. Let's don't do that.
I know.
But at any rate, Meredith comes down, and she's making a little cappuccino, and you see Bronwyn all taken aback, like, okay, she's all happy now, but, you know, we get into the fact that earlier in the morning, the early hours of the morning, she had summoned Bronwyn to have a talk. But before we even get to that, Angie announces that she's going to have a playwright come by the villa that's going to interview the ladies, and then she's going to write a play about all of them, which I thought, okay.
Yeah, what can go wrong there?
Oh, come on. I don't know, Joey. So what'd you think? Like, you know, people are saying, that was Angie being messy. I thought it was cute.
I think her heart was in like the right place. I think it's very different than, because the first thing I thought was, oh my God, like another cell phone text message game. Like, come on, you know? But that was just Heather being like Satanist or whatever. I thought that her heart was honestly in like the right place. Yes. Although, and like, God bless her for trying to get these women together and like do like different like activities. But I mean, that clearly was not going to go well because they don't have nice things to say to each other to their faces, let alone when they're being interviewed behind their backs.
Exactly. But I thought, all right, here we go.
Here we go.
So each one started talking about themselves first, but you don't really hear a whole lot about what they say about each other, and so that kind of comes out when we see the play. But I mean, I wasn't shocked by any of it.
None of it.
No, none of it. And so that's when we get into the fact that Bronwyn lets us know that about the text that Meredith had sent her asking her, because they were all up talking that night, Mary included. And then when everybody went off to bed, so it's around 1:30, and Meredith texts Bronwyn to see if she can either, come down there or she can come up there so they can talk. So according to Bronwyn, she was really nervous and anxious, and she wanted to know what they talked about at the lunch. I love Bronwyn, but Joey, I gotta know what you thought, because...
Well, I'm just gonna get it over with so people can hate on me some more, because I love being hated on. I'm gonna basically spend the next 45 minutes defending Meredith to the death, which is like, fine, come for me, that's fine. Number one, this is clearly Meredith's season to be the one in like the hot seat, which is fine. Like, we do this like rotation thing. It's Meredith's turn. That's fine.
Oh yeah.
Bronwyn doesn't think the group's out to get Meredith. Bronwyn must be living in like an alternate reality and should probably take her VR glasses off, because it's so clear like what's happening here this season. It's the Meredith takedown season. I mean, hello. It started and we thought, oh, it's going to be a Lisa takedown season. But when they realized, oh, there's no getting through. Lisa doesn't care. She's going to yell over us. They had to pivot and they moved on to Meredith.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Meredith just assume they were talking about her at lunch? All you've been doing is talking about her. So for her to ask, what did you guys talk about me at lunch? I don't think that was like, oh, weird. I was so uncomfortable. What? Why were you uncomfortable? I feel like that's a very normal question to be asked, because you guys have not stopped talking about Meredith in, I don't know, well, weeks from our point of view, filming. It could be months for all we know. I mean, it's just so out of control. I understand some of Bronwyn's feelings, but I think that she's like really like delusional to think that this conversation was like weird.
Yeah. And she kept using that word. And I'm thinking, now Bronwyn, as savvy and as together as you are, you're not a lightweight in this. I mean, weird. You would possibly do the same if you felt like they were talking about you behind your back. So
100% she would. And like, the only thing that's different here is when they have the conversation and Meredith's like, I never said that. Meredith, come on. Like, I mean, we know that Bronwyn lies. We've had her caught out in some lies.
Yeah.
We know that. Well, we don't really. Do we really know if Meredith lies? I mean, let's just be honest. Meredith, no one on this cast is like an angel, okay?
Exactly.
But in this sense, like Bronwyn, I feel like had nothing to gain by lying. I feel like I said, Meredith, they've been talking about her for like the better part of like the whole season.
Absolutely.
I'm sure she did ask that. I'm sure she was curious. I'm sure she already knew the answer, that they were talking about her at lunch. She probably wanted to know what they were saying, which again, Bronwyn and Meredith have gotten close. So I don't know why that was trying to be flipped as this like Meredith like doing this underhanded like investigation. I don't take it like that at all.
No.
Personally.
No. I think because she goes in and she's so taken aback that she actually goes in and talks to Mary about it. She goes in Mary's room. Here's the thing, and this is what I thought. So I think why Bronwyn decides to pull back and now play the it's weird card, because every time she has taken upon herself to try to tell Meredith something that was said, Meredith blows her spot clean up.
Yeah.
And I mean, it happened to her twice. She told her what Whitney said about, because she wasn't even on the plane, remember, guys?
Right.
So for it to come from Bronwyn, she repeated what Whitney told her, which in return, made Whitney upset with Bronwyn, and Bronwyn and Whitney were trying to form a pretty good relationship because, they had confided in, the whole, what they were doing with their husbands, their relationships and all that stuff. So there was like landmine there, like, where'd you hear that from? And Meredith's like, Bronwyn. And then it was the whole talking about Brittany on the yacht, drinking all day, and to the point that she would throw up when she was in the room. Yes. And Brittany figured out, that must have come from my roommate. And no one, it's like, so to Bronwyn's defense a bit, sure, Meredith said it, but I think under different circumstances, she would have been like, hey, people are worried about you, whatever. But this time, to protect herself, she wanted to play the Meredith's awfully paranoid, y'all. It's weird.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, clearly Meredith was lying when she was like, I never said that. Yeah, you definitely asked. You laughed, and I know you're lying because you're just mad that Bronwyn brought up this conversation on camera because you tried having the conversation off camera the night before, and every once in a while we all get caught out. This is a group of non-angels, so I mean, right. It
just didn't go her way, and that's the part I didn't understand. So Mary gives her the advice of, hey, just go to her, say, whatever, confront her, say it was weird. I felt uncomfortable with you asking me. So they both happen to be outside, and Bronwyn marches up to her. And you're right, Joey. I just didn't understand why Meredith didn't own it and be like, okay, yeah. I mean, if I felt like y'all were talking about me, I asked you, you didn't want to say it, whatever. I thought it was also interesting, though, that when Mary was like, well, like, it's not like it's the first time you haven't told her what somebody said, because Mary does that. Even Bronwyn's like, I mean, she asked me, she's like, well, you told her before things that people, you know what I'm saying? So, which I thought was funny. But you notice that she said, well, this time, I just kind of danced around it. She didn't really say what her response to Meredith was, so that she wouldn't, I guess.
Oh, you know what? That's a really good point that I didn't pick up on, but you're 110% right. She didn't really say what her response was.
She didn't. She said, I just kind of danced around it. It's not like she said, no, Mary, I didn't say anything. Girl, I don't think Bronwyn can hold water. I think Bronwyn, I honestly think Bronwyn is trying to solidify herself in the group, and become real friends with the women, because she self-admittedly, she said she struggles with that, so yeah, there's that. And I also thought it was funny that Meredith tried to spin it and say, oh no, the conversation that we had is because Bronwyn was so nervous about what was going to come out in the play. And so Joey. And so,
I mean, you know what? Kudos Meredith for trying. It was a massive failure, but
was it not? Yeah. I was like, Meredith. She was like, I just told her don't say anything that's too confrontational or or too contentious. And I was like, now, Meredith, that is never Bronwyn's worry, girl.
No, bye. And Meredith also apparently forgot what show she was on, so I don't know.
Right? I was like, no, ma'am. At any rate, they got nowhere. Meredith maintained, she said, no such thing. Nope, I didn't ask you that. I don't know why you're saying that.
And she will die on that hill.
Would she not? And you could just see the frustration all over poor Bronwyn, like, say what? I mean, and that's how I knew. I was like, okay, she's lying. Bronwyn's reaction was too like, what?
Yeah.
So the next thing that Angie had for the ladies, they were going to have lunch with her cousin, and Machalis was his name. I thought that was a cute scene. So that was like her first cousin. Their dads are brothers. I thought it was nice how the ladies got to get some of her history, her family history. Yeah. Notice how Lisa was all about, because since he's an older kind of flirty man, he kept saying all these beautiful women, That's all she needed, honey. She was like, "Oh, let's take a selfie. Oh my God, your cousin's so cute." Joey.
That's my girl. That's my girl, Lisa.
I mean, stroke that ego and you got it forever, honey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was sweet. At one point I was starting to be like, okay, Angie, the whole I know you're proud of your heritage and I think that's great. It was starting to get like, but then, I thought it was so sweet the fact that, I keep forgetting she lost her mother relatively early. She doesn't know a whole lot of that. This cousin is going to, when she returns, I guess, take her to where her mother is from, and he has some of that history. I think it's sweet. And I thought it was nice that all the women got a chance to get to know her deeper and that she felt good enough with them to share that with them,
Yeah. And I loved, like, it was like it was a quick blip of like a scene, but it was like a little like, kumbaya moment.
It was.
That we so desperately need on Salt Lake because they don't have a lot of those.
No. No, they don't. And as a matter of fact, they wrap lunch up, and so then we have the van ride.
Before we even get into the van ride, though, I'll be honest. I mean, I can't think of another time where I've ever seen Meredith mute, like lost for words.
She was. I mean, she was so shut down. And let me just say this, Joey. I mean, and hop in there, if you disagree, of course. But this season as a whole, I felt like we just were seeing a different Meredith. Like,
I mean, maybe she was a little more like subdued and like negative Nancy, like in like her own feelings more. Like there was like one episode a few weeks ago, the one where like the Mother's Day one.
Yeah.
And I was like literally texting one of my coworkers, and because I was like hysterical, and I was like, I have never related to a housewife so much in my entire life. I am Meredith Marks. She could not get out of her own way to save her life. She was in her own feelings and saw nothing else. And that is so me. I do that all the time, especially like at work, and I was like lose my mind. And I was like, dude, this is me. Like she was, I feel like I feel like she was almost her own like worst enemy.
Yeah.
But what I don't agree with, which we'll get more into it later, is this storyline or narrative that like she like needs our help. She's going to blah blah. No, she has lost her mind and spiraled since season 1. I talk about it all the time. It's my favorite thing about her.
Yeah.
So them trying to press this game like something's like wrong. This is like not her. No, it is her. The negativity part and like the emotional part might be the only addition we've seen, but I mean, she's been emotionally unstable since season 1, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it wasn't so much that because the emotional unstable part is part of her charm. Like you said, the unhinged Meredith Marks. I mean, she's a star. We didn't get any of those moments, and I just felt like she was more withdrawn. And I mean, and that may have been on purpose, maybe because she didn't like the way that played out for her. I think it was part of her charm. Things set her off, and when they do, she's set off. But I felt like it wasn't a normal season for like she didn't show up like it's okay, because she doesn't have to be all crazy every season. But I felt like there did seem to be some sort of a sadness about her, or something that was, and maybe she's over it.
So that's funny. So that's funny you brought that up, because that was the feeling that I got as I was like watching through and through and through, and the season progressed. I was like, it almost seems like she's really just over this whole thing.
Yeah, and I hope not. I mean, to be clear, y'all, Meredith does not need Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. No. She's good. Okay, yes. Those coins are secure. So, no, I hope not. But and maybe they'll dive a little deeper. Maybe she'll be a little more forthcoming on the reunion. I don't know. Probably not. Right? I know, right? What am I saying?
I love her to death. Not her strong suit.
No, it's not. But on the van, y'all, Brahma really lets her have it. I mean,
unleashed.
Because, I felt like she felt like you are not going to make me out to be a liar and tell me to my face when I know we had this conversation. And when Brahma gets that head going, y'all, she is not playing. She put it on her and she was like, you said it, I felt like you used me. Meredith did not defend herself at all.
No, she was like literally silent, which I mean, that's crazy. We never see Meredith without words.
Never. Even if it's just to say, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry, honey, but that's the truth. I don't know why you're making this up. She said nothing, y'all.
Nothing.
I was like, wow. And then, when Brahman's going off, you see Heather just kind of looking, and Angie, and even Lisa's just like, hey, pivotal moment. She said, and then she gave her some options. You're like, when this might have been in the first conversation, she's like, either you don't remember, you're gaslighting the heck out of me, or it was one other thing. She was like, those are your options. Meredith was just like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I mean, it just...
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get a lot out of Meredith, because when Meredith's mind's made up, you're not changing it.
No, you're not. And she's not one to go back and forth, particularly, she was over it.
She's the queen of disengaging.
And that's it, Joey. I mean, she was completely disengaged. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was putting it in practice this episode, because she was like... So, all right. After that, they get back to the villa. They've got an hour to get ready, and then they're going to the event so that they can see their Greek tragedy play out.
Obviously, this was going to go swimmingly.
Of course it was.
But I will say, I thought it was incredible. And I would watch an entire staged show about this Greek tragedy of the Salt Lake City Housewives.
It was good. I even loved, y'all, the name Sisters of the Salt.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice play on words. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. They get there, and Brittany goes straight for the wine. I'm not judging.
Oh, I have a lot to say about that too. But we'll continue on.
Okay. So they get there, everybody's eating. Mary thinks it kind of looks like a haunted house, but I mean, it has a little vibe to it, it's okay. And they get ready, and the play starts to unfold. So basically, again, they were portrayed as sisters, which I thought, okay, I love that. And the playwright, there was like a narrator, and I think they started off with Lisa, who they said was the eldest of the sisters.
When I tell you I held my breath and dropped my jaw, I thought, oh my God, Lisa's gonna get up and flip a table. I can't believe that's how it started. And then I knew, it's all downhill from here.
I know. I was like, no. And so they basically described how each one of them felt about each sister. Lisa's was, of course, her being self-absorbed, about putting things over people. I think I don't have everything written down. They talked about, the wealth over, her, care for people or whatever, which I'm like, she comes off that way.
I mean, I don't know if you can really argue her being elitist, or that the one thing you can't buy is humility.
Oh, that was a good line. I know, and I didn't write that down, but Joey, that was,
my God.
They dropped some serious, gems. I mean, I thought, you know what? If you were ever going to take some time to listen and self-reflect, to me, that was the beauty of that play. It wasn't like when you like what Heather tried to do, when each one of them are saying something, so you're going to immediately go on the defense to defend yourself. But when you're watching something like that, I mean, because everybody's got their moment, right? You would think there would be a time of reflection, and we do get to see that in Lisa.
Really, we do, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
but I will say, I really thought all the women handled it much better than I was expecting.
Me too, Joey.
I also saw a weird theory online today that did make me stop and think. And they were like, there's no way production had no part in the writing of this play. They're like, because there's no way that woman interviewed these women in that short period of time and then wrote something that was so dead on to what we see as viewers, which I thought is like a really interesting theory that I'm not mad about.
I would agree 1000% because she couldn't have been in that villa that long. I mean, I don't know, but you're right. I mean, each one of them had their own way of talking. Heather's silly with hers. You know what I mean? Like, how much depth were you going to get to know all of that? Hey, there's no way. You know what I mean? So I agree with you. I agree with that theory. I do. I honestly do. I loved what they said about Heather, and what really got on my nerves is not once did she miss, why don't we own it? Did she ever own or say anything about theirs? They called her the deflector, the one that laughs everything off because, crying would make you real. Because
there's not, like I've been saying for years, there's nothing real about her.
Right, Joey? And I mean, like, it was spot on. And I thought, okay, now, Miss, let's talk about it. Let's go deep. She did not say one thing.
No.
And I wish someone had been like, okay, so Heather, where was Whitney? Like, Heather, let's go deep.
But don't worry, Heather's still yelling, let's just talk it out. Talk your stuff out, ma'am.
Right. And that whole part, I was just like, no, ma'am. Then, y'all, when they said Brahmin wasn't two-faced, she was no-faced.
No-face. I will say, I wish they had done more showing of everyone else's faces when they were talking about someone, because like I just kept, every time they showed Whitney and Whitney was like, I was like hysterical, absolutely hysterical.
So I was like, no face, y'all. Listen, this play did that. Okay, I was like, okay. Yeah, and then so I did have this later in my notes. When they got to Lisa saying humility is the only thing you could never afford. I thought, oh yeah, that's a true statement.
Yeah, that had to cut deep.
Oh, it did. I mean, and then like for all the ladies to be kind of like, Angie and Mary oddly had a similar, we'll call them reads or depiction, with those sharp tongues. And instigators, their segment wasn't as deep, but I mean, both of them, it was about being sharp-tongued, and they did say something that Mary says things without conviction, and I thought, that's true. That is not a good character for someone that's supposed to be a spiritual leader. I mean, you can be honest, but you have to. There's a way that you say things. You know what I mean? You can say the same thing, and it come across a lot better. You know what I mean? The delivery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Angie's sharp tongue is. I think that's just her defense mechanism, but. They both had similar ones. I thought
they did, which I thought was very interesting.
It was very interesting, yeah. And Whitney, branded as a floozy. People don't take. I thought, I mean, yeah, she led with that, and then to be taken seriously when that's like that was kind of like your that's what you led with. I mean,
let me tell you right now, though, I'd rather have Whitney's reading than to have Brittany's. Brittany's was rough.
Childish. I know. Ooh, and then Meredith's described as mercurial and unpredictable. And then well, I don't have. Oh, Brittany was called out for paying more attention to men than her children.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, again, right? And again, this is going to come up later in the episode too, but we keep having these sit downs, right? About we're not going to talk about kids and husbands and marriages. And then all we do is talk about kids, husbands, and marriages.
That's true. That is true.
It's exhausting.
It's true. But I mean, like, I just, with Brittany, I mean, okay, I guess she adds some comedic relief at this point. I don't see them getting rid of her, but I just, at some point, how many times, because they even flash back to her daughter saying, I just wish, like you would choose us over, these men. And I'm thinking, girl. And I mean, she is, like I said, what I think you looked it up, 50.
Oh, yeah. In her, like,
early 50s.
Maybe I 50, forget.
53. 50, she's around my age. I mean, so I'm just thinking, really? I don't know. And then, y'all, the climax in the message as the plague draws near, they symbolically drink their truth like it's poison, and that all of them drop to the ground. And I thought, ooh. And yeah. And so then the mass narrative delivers the moral of this Greek tragedy. The truth was revealed. You're no one without your sisters. So, in other words, you need each other, and their sisterhood would have been their strength. And then the play ends on that note. And they're left with, all right, now who's going to self-reflect? What are we going to do here? And I thought, and I think, was it Lisa that went first?
Lisa or Bronwyn? I forget who exactly went first, but
I felt like it was Lisa, but even if it was Bronwyn, either way.
But I'm telling you right now, it was, I think, the most vulnerable we've ever seen Lisa in 6 seasons.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it shed a lot of light on her. And that's why, even like in real life, I've always wondered, because, I'm on her Instagram and stuff. Why does she take the time to respond to these people if they say something negative? It's because she's so worried about, feeling bad about herself and the way that she looks and, all of those things that it transforms into real life. I mean, this is reality TV, but y'all, as busy as she should be, she will take the time to respond to her haters. I'm like, girl, stop. You don't need to do that. It's really part of her personality. And so, I mean, to me, it shed some light to some things. So it was Bronwyn first, and so she addresses her disloyalty issue. And I thought it was so sad. She was just like, I'm loyal to no one because I really don't know how, because no one's really been loyal to me. And I thought, oh,
yeah,
God.
It was sad.
And then you think about it, like, look at, like she said, her parents, they were so much more worried about their faith and how they would look in the church versus, how they treated her. And so she said she has a mistrust of others. And she said that Todd has been disloyal to her. And she didn't really elaborate other than, we know that there was rumors that he had an affair, or at least an emotional affair, or, in the first season that she was on, then she kind of dialed it back. But apparently the man's probably been unfaithful. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then at this point, Angie and Lisa do a little reconciliation. When she talks about how she said, I know that they said that I'm materialistic And Angie's like, yeah, I mean, like about watches, rings. I was like, Angie.
But you know what? Lisa, in her vulnerable state, she tried getting around with it. It was fine.
She did, because I thought, oh, here we go, guys. It's gonna go from reflective moments to y'all gonna go back and forth again, but it
Yep,
didn't happen.
it did not.
And I thought that was okay. I was here for that. And she admits that she hid behind her things, her clothes, her jewelry, image, can be her shield. And she opens up that she feels a constant need to prove herself and a struggle with feelings of disappointment in herself. And that's when Angie kind of steps in and does her little shady your watcher rings. But instead, Lisa expresses appreciation for the group of the friends that she has. She says she's grateful for their support. And she looks at Angie and says that she's happy that she could be there, that they could be there for each other. And that's like the olive branch. And so her and Angie hug it out and make up again for now. And so I thought that was a good moment.
Yeah.
And she also said that she's responsible for a lot of people. So I'm like, she's taking care of her family too. I mean,
who said that?
Lisa. She said there were people that she felt responsible for. Did you not?
No, I must have missed that line.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So
I wonder.
I don't know. But yeah. So I did, it was cool to see her in this vulnerable state because she normally doesn't let it go that way. And she'll usually switch to victim if you see tears and not in a space of owning.
Yeah, and she didn't do any of that.
She didn't. I thought that was
now,
great.
Now, we could only get Meredith to follow suit.
No, which brings us to Meredith's turn. She said being called unpredictable and essentially being accused of hiding behind semantics has bothered her. And she says she does have a hard time with betrayal and finds it difficult to open up fully to people. And so she says this is as close as she's gotten to, at this point of explaining, what's going on with her. And you see Heather roll her eyes, which really pisses me off, and huffs. Oh. I know. And so Heather interjects. And she brings up Meredith supposedly ruined the day by pumping Brahman for information. In Heather's view, Meredith's claim of fearing betrayal is hypocritical. If Meredith herself was sneaking around asking what others said about her, behind her back. And then Whitney confronts Meredith in front of everyone, backing up Heather's account, saying, yeah, Meredith was trying to find out what they talked about at lunch. And Meredith's taken back, and she denies that she did that. She says she never asked about the lunch. They talk over her, and Meredith feels ganged up on at the exact moment. Then she said she's frustrated, throws her hand up and explains, this is why I don't open up. And I thought, yeah.
I mean, that's like kind of valid. Like Heather saying that Meredith's feelings are invalid is crazy work.
It is crazy.
Like, I don't know who died and left Heather in charge, but like, it is so gross to me, her behavior. You did not open or have any self-reflection because you, Heather Gay, think that you are perfect. They might say, oh, she's insecure, she massive, blah, blah. No, I truly believe that Heather thinks that people should worship the ground that she walks on. She thinks that she is perfect. She does no wrong. Someone left her as the messiah of this freaking group. And I am so over it. Invalidating someone else's feelings when they're trying to explain to you how they feel is so disgusting.
Agreed.
And if it was happening to her, when it does happen to her, she like loses her mind, right? Because, oh, poor me. It's disgusting.
It is.
Absolutely disgusting.
It is.
And I truly believe, which I know I'm probably jumping ahead like a little bit, sorry. The only person in this group that actually cares about Meredith is Mary Cosby.
1000%.
And she showed it right then and there.
Yes, she did.
As plain as can be, that she actually cares. The rest of them, I truly believe, not Lisa, but are looking to exploit Meredith for a TV moment. And they're acting like they care. They don't give a crap about Meredith. This is the same Meredith unhinged creative person that we've had for season 1, and all you do is beat her down, talk crap about her. You're trying to use it for your TV moment. The only friend she has there, besides Lisa, who we obviously know is her BFF, is Mary Cosby.
Agreed, 1000%. Case in point, when it became her turn, and Meredith does try to explain, wasn't it mighty funny how they immediately jumped on her? Now, Lisa explained her part. Now, if it was equal opportunity, well, yeah, but you said that you were better than us, and this made us feel, but they said nothing. They let Lisa do her thing, and
they know we're not going to win with her. Don't forget, we had to switch gears. Now this is the Meredith takedown season,
right? And to me, that made it crystal clear and so obvious. They could not wait until it was her turn to say something. For here they go hopping on it again. I was like, goodness. So yeah, slip is showing.
Yeah. Oh, but why don't you open up? Be vulnerable. Open up. And then the minute you say anything, we're just gonna jump on you about your emotions and your feelings.
Immediately. So then we get to Mary calling out the group. And I was wondering, I was like, good on you. You know what I mean? This is what I've been waiting on. And she's like, at this point, Meredith kind of walks off to collect herself a little bit. And Mary addresses the group. She blows up and she's like, what are we doing? Why are we here if we're not friends? Why are we here if we don't even get each other? And, she's like over it. Like we're supposed to be, like she says, grown women. We're mothers. We own businesses. And so at this point, she's venting about the disappointment in the group. And Meredith returns and she says, I just want to know, what's the goal? And I was like, because I'm wondering, like, okay, what is it that y'all really want? You know what I mean?
They're looking for a TV moment. I can't think of, honestly, anything else. You don't care about her because not once this whole season has anyone shown any care for her. It's always, in my opinion, just crap talking off like the rip. So your goal is not that you're concerned. You've never once voiced concern besides Mary. And we know that Lisa's her real friend because Lisa's defending her to death every chance she gets.
Yes.
But I think it's so inauthentic that they're trying to pass this off as concern because I don't believe it's concern at all.
It's not. And, to me, it comes off as very much gaslighting because as we watch the scene, now I did say, I noticed that she seemed a little bit more withdrawn, kind of not as with it, kind of like seeming like she was over it. But there was nothing that we saw on the season that indicated that Meredith was spiraling. And the incident on the plane. Okay, no one's seen footage. Apparently, that may get addressed at the reunion, maybe. Or at least they want us to hope so. So we'll watch.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one has articulated properly what it is that they're so concerned about. Not really, to me. Not really.
No. And why wouldn't Meredith open up to people? Do you guys see how you treat her?
Yeah.
Nothing about any of you tells Meredith that she's in a safe space to open up and be open and honest with any of you.
I know. Well, when she comes out, guys, and she asks the group, what's the goal? The only one that has the guts to say anything is Mary. Yep. Even Miss Big Bag Heather is sitting there looking stupid. And she just says, look, we all feel that you're spiraling. And, she's like, she disagrees that something is wrong with her. And she says, I'm fine. I'm okay. And she, Meredith says, there's nothing to talk about. If friends are just going to keep telling her that she's not okay when she says she is. And so she's like, why would we talk if you guys are just going to keep saying I'm not okay when I am okay? And then at this point, Mary's like, but you're not okay. You're not okay. And here comes Whitney in an effort to clarify when she said that, okay, when I use the words alcoholic and pill popper, that's because that's what I know in referring to her father, which, and I read this somewhere and I agree. When someone's upset, particularly someone that does not like her, why does Whitney think it's okay to come approach and put her hands?
Every time she gets right in the person's face.
Right, Joey? I'm like, you're going to do that to the wrong one. I mean, yeah, because you've been nothing but nasty. I mean, you have put out words that were, damaging, and again,
Unforgivable. The things that she said on national television with zero proof
mhm,
are unforgivable.
mhm, mhm. And then, in a moment that I did not like, Joey, was Bronwyn coming in and trying to drop a vague bomb
Oh,
about Seth. I'm
oh.
like,
So okay. First of all, like Bronwyn, read the room. Now is not the time.
no, it was
But
horrible.
also, like that wasn't you in being. She tried to mask it as concern. It wasn't concern because you would have had a conversation with her on the side. You had it with Mary and Whitney first at lunch, and then now you announce it to the whole group. And you
Yes.
know what? Once again, I will be the one that everyone disagrees and hates with. Kudos, Lisa Barlow, for standing up for your friend
Yeah.
because she immediately was disgusted and just.
Y'all have no
Who's
idea
cooking
why
over
that.
there?
I don't know. My cursor went over it, but you guys got to see the intro again. Isn't it cute? Back to business. I'm showing my age, y'all. Listen, I feel like Anna, whatever her last name is, on reality TV court, she does all kinds of weird things, and her co-host always laughs at her. Listen, I'm 52. Okay, I just want y'all to see the intro. Isn't it cute? But
You know what? And
anyway,
we love content for a blooper reel.
oh, naturally, right? Right? It's a new year. Yeah, we got to start off with a little, yeah. But it was the most off-putting. And look, y'all, I'm a Bronwyn fan, but
Me too.
why?
Me too.
And then so doesn't that then play into the narrative that you guys are really trying to take this woman down or push her off this show? And
Yeah,
like what?
and she like so blatantly lied where she was like, I didn't tell anyone, I didn't know who this woman was. You told Whitney and Mary on camera like literally like, yesterday. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't tell anyone.
I know. I know. I was just like, Bronwyn, no.
And it's like, girl, you just screamed at everyone a few episodes ago about stop talking about husbands and blah blah and families, and here you go.
Here you go. Here you
And I'm
go.
always defending you, Bronwyn. Why are you doing this
Same,
to me?
same. And then you hit her at her low point. Like, who does that?
Yeah, while everyone's piling on, I saw Seth with a woman in New York. Are you kidding?
Y'all, I was like, dang. I mean, so at this point, she has like an insinuation. Meredith's like, are you kidding me? And so at this point, and Lisa shouts at Brahman for making the claim, and she says, this is why she's closed off, guys. You know what I mean? This is why.
Y'all are not a safe space as much as you claim to be.
No. And so, just like you said, Joey, she just says the comment was gross, and it was. Mm-hmm. And at this point, as tensions are running high, we have Heather, who decides to break down in tears.
No, she does not. She faked breaking down in tears.
Faked, yes. There you go. Yeah, she faked tears. And then, y'all, this took me clean out the game when she says, you can leave. You can. Who is she talking
to? Yeah. When she goes, either you can leave or you can come here and talk it
down
out. Those are your two choices. Who do you think? I'm here right now. I would have ripped that glass of wine out of her hand and threw it in her freaking face so fast. Who does she think she is? This is what no one online can ever answer me when I go after Heather. Who does she think she is? Who died and left her in charge? That is not how you speak to people.
It is not.
Take your horse teeth, candle wax, melting skin out of, and your horrible intentions out of here. Horrible.
For real. I'm like, no, ma'am, no, you did not. Joey.
But you know what? And again, overly produced. I've been saying this entire season and last season, she's looking for a moment to try to recreate the season 4 finale. It was eerily, almost verbatim, the same hand motions. My girl Monica Garcia, let's bring her back. So we can have a Heather takedown season.
Yes.
Posted side by sides. I mean, it is uncanny how similar the finale of season 4 and the finale of last night was. It's the most inauthentic thing I've ever seen. And you know what? Shame on production. Shame.
Agreed. Listen, lightning doesn't strike in the same place twice. All right. You had your moment. Girl, stop it. And it's so predictable when she does it. It's like
Heather with her hand in her, or her head in her hand, because she's not really crying, so she has to cover her face. Mm-hmm. Everyone gathered around her like a Renaissance painting. It's the exact same thing we saw in season 4. It's ridiculous.
It really was. It really, really was. So at this point, it just seems like, they're not going to be satisfied until, I guess, Meredith has some sort of breakdown in front of everybody. Right. So at this point, the group is pretty much left divided. Meredith and Lisa, they stand together on one side, and the rest of the women on the other side. Kind of ends with no resolution. And I guess it will all be addressed on the reunion.
I don't think we're going to get any resolution out of that reunion either.
Y'all, if y'all saw the previews, Andy actually walks off set. Now, listen.
Let me tell you, if Andy Cohen's never walked off during a New Jersey reunion, then Salt Lake really should. I mean, I don't know if they should be embarrassed or proud of themselves. Take one or the other.
I don't know, but I do remember him saying when they asked him, I think, like, what are his hardest reunions? He did mention it was New Jersey, it's Miami, and it was Salt Lake City because he said Lisa Barlow will not stop talking. He did say that. But it doesn't seem like it's Lisa this time. I don't know. Probably
it's a combination of all of them, though.
Yeah.
I mean, once they all get going, like a bunch of squawking hens, and no one can hear anyone, and
Heather,
no one's listening to each other.
Whitney with her high pitchedness.
But let me tell you, again, I know I'm on this Heather hate train that I cannot get off, because once again, I am Meredith Marks, and I cannot get out of my own way. Even in the trailer for the reunion, when Heather is like, with Meredith, our friendship is done or whatever. And what does she say? Is it like, watch your back, or mind your, or whatever? Who the hell do you think you are?
Joey, I am like, who is she? Me too. Like, who are you even talking to? You really?
But I'm telling you, she really does believe that she is better than everyone. She thinks that she's a producer. She thinks that she is like the star of the show. If she does not get Monica back to take her down several hundred notches, I mean, I don't even know. I love Salt Lake. I don't know how much more Heather Gay I can really stomach. And I watched seasons and seasons and seasons of Margaret Joseph. Yeah. And everyone knows how I feel about her.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. It is getting to the point where it is nauseating to watch. Yep. I mean, I was like, she has grown a serious pair. Like, who are you talking to?
I don't know. We need to castrate her real quick.
I mean, I'm just like, I hope somebody puts her in her place and soon. But y'all, we will definitely be back to talk about the reunion. We got 3 parts. We'll be talking about looks. They've come out, but I will wait until we get to our reunion.
Everyone already knows my answer for worst dressed.
I can guess. But yes, we will discuss all of that next week. So guys, I need y'all to slide in these comments and let us know, what did you think about the finale?
Come on, people, tear me to shreds. Bring it on.
I mean, whatever. Like, seriously, I want to know, like, God, do you guys agree that enough of Heather Gay already? And whose side are y'all on?
A little light at the end of the tunnel and a glimmer of hope. I have never seen more Heather Gay slander on social media than I did today.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of it too. Like people are getting sick of it. She
Yeah.
doesn't add anything, and then she tries to stir everything up. I mean that gets old.
Yeah.
Okay, it does. Um, so I'm excited for the reunion. Like you guys, let us know your thoughts. You know, are y'all on Meredith's side? I mean, did it seem like a total try to take Meredith out the season when they couldn't get Lisa knocked off because Lisa don't care?
Lisa don't care.
Lisa don't care.
She should
How
be living a
Bravo?
much different life than all these women.
And does. Even if it's just in her mind, she sure does.
She sure does.
Okay. But yeah, let us know. I want to know. I want to hear your feedback. As always, guys, thanks for listening or watching. Joey, do you have any final words before we wrap it up?
You know what? Honestly, I really don't, because I'll be honest, I cannot think of anything else. I can't even think about the Salt Lake City reunion, because when I tell you my heart is going to jump out of my chest with my excitement for the return of our Shaws tomorrow night, I literally cannot think of anything else. I have not been this excited for a Bravo show in, like, I don't even know, decades. I mean, honestly, anyone that knows me knows Straws of Sunset is my favorite reality show of all time. Not even my favorite Bravo show of all time. It is the cream of the crop. I have been waiting for this for years.
Yes, I love the Shaws. I'm glad to see them back. I'm glad to see them in this new light. You know what? I'm super duper excited as well.
And we get the Traitors back on Thursday.
Get the
tomorrow.
Traitors
I mean,
back.
we're really just getting hit with it.
We are, and I'm so excited because, to be honest, guys, Beverly Hills is not doing it for me yet.
No, I was hoping you were going to say that, because it's not. Yeah. I don't even know if I watched like the most recent episode. I just don't care.
Joey, I got tried and I didn't even realize, like, I fell asleep. Like, I am so not there. I'm not. It's just not. It's not moving me at all. Nope. So I'm glad we have some shows that we can dig into, guys, and bring you some good content on, because I'm sorry, we may hit it if there's something notable, but right now, y'all.
It's not Beverly Hills, and it's not Potomac. Potomac started out really strong and did a nosedive for me. Complete nosedive.
It's complete nosedive. I'm over it. I'm done with Ashley. Giselle makes me sick. I can't, guys. I don't know. Wendy, you were having a good season, but girl,
and the irony is Wendy's having a great season.
She is.
If we didn't know what we know, I mean, it'd be a great season for her.
It would have been a great season. So, I mean, yeah, I got nothing, guys. But, you know, reunion time, that's all subject to change. You know, Stacey is still, she sure does rise. She rose right on back up.
Let me tell you. Who would have thought? Fan favorite. I mean, unbelievable.
I know. They hopped off her when they couldn't get her, and now they're on with Angel, and Angel's a one and done. Let's be clear. So, who cares?
What a flop.
Floppity flop. Yeah. Just poor casting. Yeah. So that's what we got, guys. Y'all, like I said, slide in the comments. Let us know. What are your thoughts on Potomac, Beverly Hills? Are y'all excited to see the Shaws come back? The Traitors, y'all. It's some good content.
The Traitors with the return of Candace Bassett Dillard. Love her or hate her, she's great TV. God bless these people in that castle, because she gonna shred you at a round table.
Oh, honey, that mouth. Very few can do that better, honey. Yep. She will. Yeah. So I'm excited. So I hope you guys are. Watch some good Bravo tonight. I mean, what we got? Southern Charm, and what else do we got? I don't know. Something else.
I'll tell you, another travesty. I made it through 1.5 episodes of Vanderpump Rules, and I said, you know what? Click, not for me.
I tried, and I gave my review. I think it might have been something of feeling like, when I was at BravoCon, that we were getting like this private showing, like I felt special. And then when I tried to watch it at home, I was like, this is not. I cannot get with it. I just can't.
Nothing about them is authentic. They're not trying to be their own people. They want to be their predecessors. It's not working.
It is not working at all. I mean, honestly, y'all, I tried. I can't. I have nothing.
Either. I'm not doing it. And I'm sad, but I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it either. I'm not. I love you, Lisa, but you got to get a new. That's not it. That's not it.
No, the move would have been, you now have like 3 working on a whole hotel in Vegas. The show should have been moved to Vegas.
That's true, Joey. That would have been so much more meatier, and then we would have got like a whole different vibe. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't have called it Vanderpump Rules, because it's not fair to them to be compared to the predecessors. It should be its own thing. And if you move the whole thing to Vegas, it would have been a new show, new title. and it maybe would have worked. This is not working.
Yeah, this is not working. No, sorry. Yeah. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Come on back next week when we'll be talking about the reunion and whatever else. You never know what's going to happen in that Bravo universe. All right. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.